Parkside Cabin Rentals, affordable rustic luxury in the Smokies. Chalets and log cabins, from intimate to grand. In town or in total seclusion, we can fit any need you have. Visit ParksideCabinRentals.com. Plan your vacation today.
Southeast Termite and Pest Control can help protect your home from animals, trapping and relocating wildlife, fixing the damage they cause, and preventing them from invading your home in the first place. Call Southeast Termite and Pest Control and ask about our many services.
The following is a presentation of Fox 43 Sports. Let's talk Tennessee football. This is the Sports Source Kickoff, presented by Parkside Cabin Rentals. Now, your host, John Pennington.
Good Saturday morning. Thanks for joining us on this game day morning. Tennessee getting ready to play Missouri this afternoon at 3:30 over at Neyland Stadium. We'll be breaking that down today on the Sports Source Kickoff presented by Parkside Cabin Rentals. Going to be joined by a fleet of good analysts to discuss what is a Tennessee team that kind of boggles the mind. I don't know what to expect. We'll see if these guys have a guess as to which Tennessee team will show up this afternoon. Let's get right into this thing. First segment brought to you by Parkside Cabin Rentals' sister property, the Oak Tree Lodge. Located across the street from Tanger Outlets at Five Oaks, they offer spacious rooms with hickory furniture and true southern charm right in the heart of the Smoky Mountains. And if you stay at the Oak Tree Lodge, you're going to get free parking whenever you visit downtown Gatlinburg. That's just a bonus. That's on top of everything else. Perfect location, perfect stay. The Oak Tree Lodge. Check out their website right on the monitor in front of our desk right now. There it is, theoaktreelodge.com. Want to welcome in these fellows we have right here. Josh Ward from WNML, also from WNML, Jimmy Himes. And right down there, VFL, Bobby Scott back with us. Good to have you here, Bobby.
Good to be here.
All right. This has been a series, one of the series that has really kind of underlined Tennessee's decline over the years. When Missouri joined the SEC in 2012, most SEC fans laughed and scoffed, but as it turns out, they've been to the SEC title game twice, and they've taken 4 out of 6 from Tennessee. Now this series, if we can go ahead and show it, there you go, the 6 games, only a couple of them have been close. They've mainly been blowouts one way or the other. Missouri, as I said, has taken 4 out of 6. The average point spread in this thing, 18 points. They played that first one when Derek Dooley was the Tennessee coach, and it went 4 overtimes. Since then, for the most part, it has been decided by a touchdown or more. What do you expect in terms of this being a tight game, close game? The matchup itself, does it make you think, okay, this team's more balanced than Kentucky, tougher for the defense? Do we expect this to be a tighter game than what we've seen in the past with Missouri, or are you still too leery of Tennessee at this point to say that?
Does I don't know work as an answer here?
No.
Yeah, here, one thing I expect.
And that's kind of the point of this question is I don't know which Tennessee team shows up.
I do think we'll see scoring on both sides. I think Tennessee will be fine from an effort standpoint. I don't think we have to worry if Tennessee will be into the game. I think there will be kind of a carryover from the Kentucky game last week. I think the Charlotte game showed that Tennessee's players were not all the way into that game. They admitted that. Marquez Callaway did after. But what happens in the game? Does Tennessee defensively have issues like it did against South Carolina, or is it more buttoned up like it was against Kentucky? Part of that will have to do with the opponent, I think. But I think we're going to see points on both sides.
I do too, and I felt better about trying to figure out Tennessee when Jeremy Pruitt said that after a week of practice, he doesn't know what team's going to show up either. So, but I think there'll be quite a bit of scoring. I've got them scoring at least 60 points, and one reason I don't think that Missouri's pass defense is that good, and I don't think Tennessee's overall defense is going to be able to stop a real balanced offense. But I do see a close game. I think this will be a tight game that'll be decided late in the fourth quarter.
I'm kind of with Jimmy. I think if Tennessee has improved the way they improved against Kentucky, I felt like their offense and defensive line beat Kentucky, and Kentucky's got a good offensive line. So I feel like that it's going to. I think it's going to be maybe not 60 points, but I think I could see 45 to 50 in this game.
My guess is it will be tight because I'm going to give Tennessee the benefit of the doubt. But again, I think that question could be answered either way because we just don't know. As we discussed Sunday on the Sunday show, which makes sense since it was Sunday, we mentioned the fact that they had one of their worst games against Florida and then came back with their best game at Auburn. They had one of their worst games against Charlotte and come back with a great game against Kentucky. They've yet to put two really good games back to back, so that's the challenge this afternoon. The guy to watch, probably, Drew Lock, the Missouri quarterback. Let's take a look at his numbers. This is a guy whose numbers under Derek Dooley, as opposed to Josh Heupel, have dropped a little bit. You see his 2017 numbers on the left, his current numbers on the right, and then Jarrett Garantano compared to that on the far right. Completion percentage, Lock has actually gone up, but he's still below where Garantano is. But you see the attempts per game, he throws it a lot more than Garantano does. Yards per game, much more. But the yards per attempt, look at the change there from, nearly down 2 yards. That's a lot. And it's not as good as what Garantano has done on the year. Touchdown passes, he had 44 last year, down to 21. Garantano just 11, but also the interception difference there. And the interesting thing, Garantano with a better quarterback rating than Drew Lock. Drew Lock came into the season, a lot of people said, well, if he plays well, this is a guy that could go in the first round of the NFL draft, could arguably be the first quarterback taken. I don't know that he's lived up to that hype. I don't know how. By the time we get to April, those NFL guys usually talk themselves into falling in love with somebody. But still, he's not been the same guy this year as he was last year. Is he still the most important guy on the field this afternoon? Or is that Garantano? Or is that Darrell Taylor if he decides to show up?
Well, not knowing whether Taylor's going to show up, I'm going to go Lock. And one reason I would go with Lock, not only is he a really good quarterback who's got a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns and so forth, what he has done recently is they have let him run some on the zone read scheme, and that has made the running game even more effective. It's made the offense more effective. He's been able to pick up some first downs on 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 by keeping the football. Now, he's not going to break off 20, 25-yard runs, but he can get you 5 to 10 to get first down. So I think it's Lock.
What many of us expected Garantano to be able to do when he signed.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's Lock. I think he's the most impactful player in this game, and I'll say that for one of two reasons. If Missouri wins today, and after the game we're saying Drew Lock was the best player on the field, anybody be surprised? No. If Tennessee wins and we come out of it saying, boy, Tennessee's defense really caused some problems for Drew Lock, and he made some mistakes on the field that cost Missouri, I don't think we'd be all that surprised. I think he can be the most impactful one way or the other. Part of it's because of volume. Those numbers you showed, he's obviously very involved in what they're doing.
Bobby, this guy, you've seen him throw it around on Tennessee before. They put up 50 points last year, 600 and something, well, 700 yards total on Tennessee. And actually, he's done it 2 years in a row. Your thoughts on Drew Lock as quarterback?
I think he's capable of playing and probably playing, in the NFL next year. But I think one of the most important things is how Garantano steps up and competes with him. And if he steps up and competes with him, I think Garantano could be as he's not going to be drafted this year, of course, but I think he can play with him.
The difference, although it looks like going from 44 to 21 touchdowns, that's a drop in the big playmaker ability type that he was last year, the gunslinger thing. But that's the only thing that Garantano is really missing. You like the completion percentage, you like the yards per attempt, you love the 2 interceptions over the course of 10 games, but you'd like to see more than basically 1 touchdown pass per game. That's where he's going to have to improve from this year to next. Maybe he does it this afternoon.
I was going to give you another note about Lock that's kind of interesting. If you looked at his first 4 SEC games this year, he had 1 touchdown pass and 5 interceptions. His last 2 SEC games, he has played much better. But he struggled in SEC games earlier. If that Drew Lock shows up today, then I think Tennessee's got a really good shot to win.
They had a 3-game stretch where they kind of took it on the nose as an offense in general. They missed some players. One of his top receivers was out for that little stretch. Right. When you look at Drew Lock, though, in terms of what Tennessee has faced this year, you saw Tua for basically a half and Will Grier. This guy is clearly number 3, isn't he? In terms of the best they've seen?
Yeah, I think so. Now, I would go in that order, Tua, Grier, and Lock. But from a talent standpoint, he is right up there with them, and he will get the opportunity. Jake Bentley was able to hit some throws. They didn't do that as much. But he showed as well that, the secondary will probably be tested today. Yeah. Drew Lock will test them even more.
Yes, and the fact that you know, you look at that South Carolina game where Tennessee played so well in the first half. This isn't Kentucky you're going to get today. If you're up 14-0, it's not lights out. This game's over.
Yeah.
It could be like the second half against South Carolina. They can light it up. I did want to put up some other interesting numbers. If you go back and look, this is Tennessee's averages over 6 years, the 6 games they've played them. When they have won, and that was under Butch Jones, so that's a different offense. But when they've won, they've averaged 300 yards rushing and only 156 yards passing. In their 4 losses, they've run for only 111, but they've averaged 250 through the air. I think that may be different today, though, because as we discussed last week, this is an offense that I would agree with what you said. The run game's important, but the deep shots seem to be more important. So that number, I thought it was interesting to put it up there to show 300 yards rushing in your wins. I don't think that's the game plan today, but we'll discuss. Next, we'll talk about rushing attempts for Tennessee. What will be their plan of attack on defense, but also will they try and ball control this thing a little bit? We'll discuss that with Tyler Wyatt when we come back. He's the professional handicapper who joins us each week. He's got some over-unders to talk about these key matchups, Tennessee versus Missouri. That's next on the Sports Source Kickoff, presented by Parkside Cabin and Rentals.
Did you know English Mountain Spring Water has been named the world's best tasting water? That a French competition declared it a gourmet water? Did you know English Mountain Spring Water is bottled in Dandridge? And it's available for commercial and residential water service across East Tennessee. Clear, pure water with no aftertaste. From an East Tennessee source and a local company providing unmatched service. English Mountain Spring Water.
The Lodge at Five Oaks, conveniently located within walking distance to some of the area's best attractions, restaurants, and shops. Call now for special rates throughout the week or visit thelodgeat5oaks.com to plan your next getaway today.
Since 1971, Southeast Termite and Pest Control has offered free inspections, multiple pest control options, and guaranteed termite prevention and correction. Times have changed. Our service hasn't. Southeast Termite and Pest Control.
Under Tennessee law, you're entitled to money damages for injuries caused by the negligence of others. How much money often depends on the diligence, skill, and experience of your attorney. A Knoxville law firm has been helping injured people for more than 30 years.
At Bill Hodson Associates, we've collected millions of dollars from insurance companies that didn't want to treat injured people fairly. Is your case worth more than the insurance company says? Call Bill Hodson Associates and find out.
When it comes to your business, no one provides better security and life safety systems than Safety Systems. Protect your employees, your products, and your records with a single phone call. Professional technicians ready to design, install, and monitor your cutting-edge fire and security systems. Electric locks and surveillance cameras. Emergency and after-hours response and repairs. Trust Safety Systems, East Tennessee's leader in security and life safety systems.
Just 60 miles from Knoxville, adventure meets sanctuary at the historic Topoco Lodge. Originally opened in 1930, this renovated, reborn mountain retreat offers cozy, well-appointed rooms, cabins, and suites, waterfront dining, our warm signature service, and plenty of outdoor sports and activities, all within our riverside, creekside, and forest setting. Experience the historic Topoco Lodge, where adventure meets sanctuary.
Parkside Cabin Rentals, affordable rustic luxury in the Smokies. Hot tubs, pool tables, fireplaces inside and out. Our cabins are perfect for relaxing or entertaining. Visit ParksideCabinRentals.com. Plan your vacation today.
Welcome back into the Sports Source Kickoff. This segment brought to you by English Mountain Spring Water. From a pure mountain spring right up the road in Dandridge comes a water that has been ranked as one of the world's best. Time and again, national competitions, international competitions, they're fantastic, and so is their service. If you have bottled water in your office or you got it delivered residentially, these are the folks to do it with. English Mountain Spring Water. You taste it once, you'll know why you need to bring them into your home and your office. Trust me on it. Track them down, taste it for yourself. You will be impressed. All right, also impressive, we got a guy over here named Tyler Wyatt, who runs a website called 3forthemoney.win, and his record with football, college, pro, baseball, basketball, hockey. You do best about everything, don't you?
We do it all.
His record is so impressive. You got people across the country who go to his website and pay him for his picks. Well, we've lured him in here, and I try and put a gun to his head and make him give us stuff for free. Each week we talk key matchups as he picks some over/under. The first one you got is 41.5. What are we looking at?
41.5% would be third down conversion for Missouri. In wins, like most teams, they succeed on third down conversions. 50% in their wins. In losses, 30%. So they struggle there. Tennessee just at 37.5% defensively. Missouri over and under 41.5% on third down conversions.
Overall, they're top 20 in the country in third down conversions, are they not?
That is correct.
Okay. All right, where are we going? Who's over, who's under? What are you doing?
I'm going to go over, and I'm going to say that because I think Missouri will be able to find success both on the ground and throwing the football. I'm not going to say significantly over, but I think that Missouri's going to be able to do enough offensively to convert and extend drives.
I agree with Josh, and a big part of that is I'm having trouble getting out of my mind the way Missouri has run all up and down the field on Tennessee. And if you're running the ball that successfully, you should have a lot of third and shorts. So I'm going to say Missouri over.
I'm going to agree with you 100%. I think, you know, they're going to be, you know, on third down. They're going to be in more short yardages, and that's where the big ones come from. If if they have to throw it, you know, I just don't think that they'll be as successful throwing. And with third and 2, third and 3, third and 4, then you got a lot better chance of making it.
I had over as well. I think Tennessee goes over. Tyler, are we wrong or are we right?
Jimmy nailed it. I think third and short will be a key. Drew Lock can complete a long third and 12, third and 15 type of play, but I expect them to run the ball pretty effectively and have a lot of third and 2 and third and 3 type plays, over 41.5%.
All right, next one is 37.5. What are we looking at?
Rushing attempts for Tennessee. Tennessee averaging 37.5 on the season. Kentucky, the only one of the teams that has beat Missouri that didn't run it at least 40 times. They ran it 35. 41 is the average. Tennessee on the season 37.5. Tennessee rush attempts 37.5.
All right. This gets back to, that's kind of why I threw that stat in there the last time. They've run the ball well, and you could make the case that maybe part of your defensive plan is to run the ball, keep Drew Lock off the field. There's only one problem with that. Tennessee ran it last week. I haven't seen a lot of that this year, so I'm going to say that is under. My guess is you're going to wind up throwing more than you run it today against, well, not more than you run it, but you're going to wind up throwing it too often to get your run numbers up over 38 and above.
I'm going to go under as well. One thing I'm curious about is the pace of the game, how many plays. That obviously can play a factor there. But I'm going to say that Tennessee's going to need to throw the football. I wonder those stats that we showed in the first segment, is there another comparison post-game with Garantano versus Locke? I'm
going to go under as well, and a couple of reasons. One, I think the worst thing about Missouri's team is pass defense, and I think Tennessee would be silly not to take advantage of that with Garantano throwing against that secondary. And then the other part of it is we haven't seen Tennessee run it consistently effectively, and I think they're going to get in a game where points are going to – you're going to score a lot of points. And I think to keep up with Missouri, I think Tennessee's going to have to throw it.
I agree with that. I don't think they have I don't think they're going to have much of a choice. When you look at Tennessee's receivers that have made big plays in the last few ball games, you've got to utilize them. If you don't, you're knocking your head against the wall.
My guess is in a normal year, if Jeremy Pruitt builds this program the way he wants to build it, he's not going to go out and try and win a lot of shootouts. I think today, if they win, it's probably going to be that kind of a shootout. So we all go under on this one, Tyler. Are we right or wrong?
You're right. Under, I think, is the key for success. Tennessee needs, we saw last week against Kentucky, they were able to move the ball pretty effortlessly through the air, especially the first half, over 170 yards. I think Tennessee wants to establish the pass game pretty early and do expect that to go pretty far under, actually.
Okay, the next one, 215.5.
Rushing yards for Missouri. They've been kind of an anomaly. Two of their worst games on the ground were against Alabama and Kentucky, two of the better teams defensively. In 6 of their 10 games, they have ran for over 200 yards. We don't have to look back too far and see that they had success running the ball against Tennessee the last couple of years. We set that number at 215.5.
Yeah, which would be about half of what they did against Tennessee on the ground last year and the year before. Yeah. It seems like it feels like a mistake to say, well, they've run for 800 yards on Tennessee the last 2 years. But it's not a mistake. They have.
It's crazy, isn't it?
That's an absolute mind-blowing number. As a matter of fact, in 5 of the 6 games against Tennessee, they've run for 180 yards or more, and the average since 2012 in all 6 games is Missouri with 281 yards on the ground against Tennessee over a 6-game stretch. Because of that, I'm going to say over. I know that Tennessee looked good last week against Kentucky, held them to 77 yards. Best defensive performance against the run I've seen this year. But I'm not going to buy in on one game. And you're playing a balanced offense over here.
Right, that's the key.
So I'm going to go over. I think Missouri runs for 215.5.
Right. Yeah, Missouri's ability to throw, I think, pushes me over, because I think Missouri's ability to do that will give them opportunities to run the ball as well. So there is the Kentucky game where Tennessee did so well. There's the South Carolina game where the Gamecocks went for 224. I'm going to go over for Missouri.
I'm going to go over also. And what they do and what they've done against Tennessee the last 2 years, they've spread the field and run the football when Tennessee is spread out with them. And with facing a balanced offense, Kentucky was not balanced. Missouri is. And facing a balanced offense, it spreads it. Plus, I think Roundtree's a really good running back. I think Crockett's a good running back. I think they'll go over 215.5.
I have to agree with you. I think, Locke is really a good passer. And I think Tennessee is, their defensive backfield has not, has not played as well as they should. I think they'll get better, but I think they'll be over this year, or this game.
Tyler, what do you think?
I do think it's over. If this team is balanced, Drew Lock in Power 5 games has averaged 230 yards. If they remain balanced, it would be about 230 each, which would be just over 215.5. Over, I believe, is where it'll be.
And Tennessee has allowed more than 215 3 times on the year, and they've allowed 200 yards rushing at least once more, maybe twice more. Once more. So you're looking at that's why you want to say, yeah, last week they've bought in, they've learned, they're ready. This is them. But based on what we've seen the whole year, I think it's way too early to be making that. I'll go there if they do it this afternoon against Missouri. All right, when we come back, what's it going to take for Tennessee to win? Tennessee will win if. We're going to fill in the blank next on the Sports Source Kickoff, presented by Parkside Cabin Rentals.
Southeast Termite and Pest Control can help protect your home from animals, trapping and relocating wildlife, fixing the damage they cause, and preventing them from invading your home in the first place. Call Southeast Termite and Pest Control and ask about our many services.
The Lodge at 5 Oaks, conveniently located within walking distance to some of the area's best attractions, restaurants, and shops. Call now for special rates throughout the week or visit thelodge@5oaks.com to plan your next getaway today.
Just 60 miles from Knoxville, adventure meets sanctuary at the historic Topoco Lodge, featuring the Topoco Tavern with comfortable seating inside or riverside for lunch and dinner, expanded patio dining, private rooms for events, drinks on the observation deck, and at our multiple bars. Try the Carolina Mountain Trout, a Black Angus choice ribeye, or build your own hand-tossed pizza. Experience the Topoco Tavern at the historic Topoco Lodge.
When it comes to your home, no one provides better security and audio-video systems than Safety Systems. Control everything using your tablet or smartphone, whether it's a hidden TV or the temperature in your home. Lighting, doors that open and close, lock and unlock, cameras that allow you to watch your home from wherever you may be, all at the touch of a button. Trust Safety Systems, East Tennessee's leader in security and audio-video systems.
Under Tennessee law, you're entitled to money damages for injuries caused by the negligence of others. How much money often depends on the diligence, skill, and experience of your attorney. A Knoxville law firm has been helping injured people for more than 30 years.
At Bill Hudson Associates, we've collected millions of dollars from insurance companies that didn't want to treat people fairly. Have you been hurt in a car wreck? Are you being treated fairly? Call us and find out.
Experience you can trust.
Did you know English Mountain Spring Water has been named the world's best tasting water? That a French competition declared it a gourmet water?
Did you know English Mountain Spring Water is bottled in Dandridge? And it's available for commercial and residential water service across East Tennessee. Clear, pure water with no aftertaste. From an East Tennessee source and a local company providing unmatched service. English Mountain Spring Water.
Southeast Termite and Pest Control is locally owned, locally operated, handling thousands of commercial and residential jobs all across East Tennessee. Protect your home with a free inspection and estimate from Southeast Termite and Pest Control.
Welcome back in to the Sports Source Kickoff. This final segment brought to you by Bill Hodson Associates. Did you know there are about 1,000 car accidents in Knox County, just Knox County, each year, and about 300 of those involve injuries? And again, that's just Knox County. That's not spread across East Tennessee. If you find yourself the victim of a careless driver, call the law offices of Bill Hodson Associates. Get them on your side because, boy, that's what they are. They are on your side and they help you use the law to your advantage because it's there to protect you and to make sure you're not left holding the bag if you are injured in an accident by a careless driver. Bill Hodson Associates, we appreciate them for being a part of this show and our Sunday show, which you can see tomorrow at 11 on WATE 6. We'll be there to break down whatever happens this afternoon in the Tennessee-Missouri game. We'll have a full cast of characters, as always. That's tomorrow at 11 on WATE. All right, we are pushing it. We've gone late, so Tyler, give me a quick take on what the folks at home should do with their money today.
Number open 5, 5.5, total 56, 56.5. 6 is about the consensus that we're seeing right now. We're a week removed from the lowest game total of the year, 57 points in this one. But Tennessee, the sharps are on. Public is on Missouri minus the 6. Sharp bettors are on Tennessee plus the 6. Total we're not playing. I do think Jimmy mentioned it would be a shootout, and I do expect both teams to score. Defenses will struggle, but I think Tennessee plus 6, absolutely the play.
Okay, very good. Tyler White, thank you. And again, folks, go check out his website, 3forthemoney.win. You can make yourself some money. All right, I will start and be kind of quick here. Well, I'll tell you what, you guys go, and then I'll either tap dance or I'll be quick at the end. Josh, Tennessee will win
if we whiffed in the last segment on the over-unders. And I say that because if we whiffed on the Missouri side, what they do offensively, that means Tennessee has at least controlled maybe Missouri's run game and gotten Missouri off the field on those third downs. And if that happens, it might open up Tennessee's chance to run the ball more. So Tennessee essentially being able to play the game it wants to against Missouri.
I think another big key will be Tennessee getting splash plays on first downs. They had 5 first downs against Kentucky that totaled 190 yards, and 2 of those were runs, 3 of them were passes. They made some huge plays on first down without, I think, set in motion scoring drives. So I think big plays on first down will help Tennessee.
All right, Bobby, Tennessee will win if.
Tennessee's offensive line handled Kentucky pretty well. Tennessee's defensive line handled Kentucky pretty well. If both them play well, I think that'll enhance our chances of winning.
Okay. I have 2 things. The Vols can force turnovers on defense. I think that'll help them. I also think that if they can convert third downs on offense. We talked about Missouri on third downs. Looking at the turnovers, Missouri -3 on the year. The Vols are +2 in terms of turnover ratio. In SEC games, Tennessee's -6, but Tennessee's -1. Missouri is -6. They had 2 turnovers against Vanderbilt that kept Vanderbilt in that game last week. Tennessee, I think that's one way you stop Drew Lock is you try and turn him over the way you did against Auburn. You get a couple you got a turnover against Kentucky. I think this defense needs that. But also third downs, Tennessee ranks, let's see here, 3rd in the SEC, 43%. That's pretty good. Mm-hmm. So if they can hold on to the football, that keeps Drew Lock off the field. If they can force turnovers, that takes a couple of scoring opportunities away from them. I think that's what you're going to need today. Now watch them go out and roll this team because we were completely wrong on the Kentucky game last week. I'm going with Missouri in this one, though. We got about 30 seconds here. I'm taking Missouri 27-24.
Said 28-24 Missouri, so I do think it's close. I think Tennessee has a shot.
Jimmy, how are you doing?
I got 50-48. No, just kidding. 34-30 Missouri.
Okay, Bobby.
27-21 Tennessee.
I knew it. There you go. You're back.
I'm feeling good now.
Hey, they played well, and I'm going to,
benefit it out.
That's right.
There you go. Well, it'll be a more fun show tomorrow at 11. if Bobby's right,
Yeah.
if we're right, we'll still have a fun show. That's tomorrow at 11. See you then. Thanks for watching. Hey, everybody have a good Thanksgiving this week. We'll see you next Saturday right back here on Fox 43 at 10:30. See you.
This has been a presentation of Fox 43 Sports.